let's bring that in. Let's take a look.
Right here in your arms.
And let's just solo them together because I want to be able to hear them first, and then I want to track space them in the mix while everything's playing.
Right here in your arms is where I want to be. So hold on.
So you guys can hear, obviously, I'm not getting much of my lead break. So we need to find that perfect frequency range of what needs to be hollowed out. What frequency is this vocal having that needs to be able to breathe? And we can look at the EQ.
Right here in your arms.
We know 200 up to about 1K. You can see it right there in the spectrum. Body, that is the body of the vocal. 2K and up, that is that shine. You can hear what she's saying. That's the top end, obvious, right? But we need to look at the problem. The problem is 200 hertz to 1K. There's going to be a clash between both of these stems. So let's hollow it out.
Right here in your arms is where I want to be. So hold on to me. Look me in the eye.
So you guys can hear it kind of has a somewhat of a phasing sound when it's hollowing that out. Because think about essentially that it's filtering, right? The same idea you can do with a filtering, high resonance, bringing the cutoff down with a high resonance, you get that kind of CDJ type filtering sound, right? You're going to get a similar idea when you're really kind of shaping sound with the track spacer. You need to look out for the amount, too much, too little. So what I'm really looking for is maybe the 50% on this, because I don't want there to be no mid-range in this lead. It's still an important element, but I need to find the happy medium between the vocal clashing, and I think it's right around that 50 hertz.
Right here in your
The 50%.
Right here in your arms is where I want to be. So hold on to me. Look me in the eyes under the night sky for eternity. So hold on to me.
There's actually not that many more elements in the break, which is great. Less is more, right? The break bass, you'd want to look at lead versus the bass in the track spacing, these two. But since I hollowed out a good amount of the lead, I don't think I need to track space on the break bass, because then I'm going further and just cutting more and making more space. That's where you find your happy medium, guys. When you know, one, trust your ears. Two, is it sounding great as it is now? Two, do I need to even add a space there to let that element breathe versus the other? Sometimes the answer will be no. I'm not saying you need to do this technique on every single stem. You need to look at the idea of it. You need to look at the idea of, does it need to be on every stem? Solve the issue, guys. Solve what needs to be on top. For example, the vocal. You know, when I first started this co-production, is just throwing the vocal on a bunch of stuff in the break. I immediately need to know, okay, I have to bring all the elements back instrumental wise now for that vocal to even make sense. That can all be done with track spacing, understanding the masking with the Q3.
Right here in your arms.
If I put the Q3 on the lead break and we just kind of look if there's anything going on, I doubt it. I doubt there's much masking going on at this point.
Right here in your arms is where I want to be. So hold.
And we're only getting it mainly that 200 hertz. But you know why that's even remotely happening is because I need the 200 hertz from the vocal. If I were to take the 200 hertz out of the vocal, there'd be no vocal, right? For example,
Right here in your arms.
can't have that. So you guys need to look at the dry wet, the amount in that track spacer. If you take it all the way out in full, which is what I just simply did with EQ, you have nothing there. So find the happy medium, that thin line of overdoing it. I really always go the extreme on everything. EQing, over distorting something, over compressing. Once I find the overdone sound, I know I then find the not enough sound, and I'll mentally say, okay, well, now there's simply truth that there is a middle line of where the perfect spot is. So you kind of help yourself by understanding one extreme to the next. You can find that middle line. That's what you guys need to do with track spacing from elements to elements. Use this tool to your advantage. Don't overuse it. Don't overdo it. Be very careful. Experiment with it. Be very careful with the amount. Like I said, overdoing it, not enough. Just experiment and trial and error. You'll really, really zone in on how to utilize this tool in your mix down to benefit all your records and benefit your tracks to track. So give it a shot, guys. That's it for today's episode. Reach out with any questions. I'll catch you in the next video. Take care.